Hello students, I am Ishan Trivedi. Welcome you in the video lecture series. Today I am going to discuss about building bylaws and its terminology. In these sessions, I am going to cover definitions such as setback, setback line, building line, control line, consolidated open plot, light plane, loft, porch and mezzanine floor. So let us start with a setback. It is a front margin or open space to be left beyond the extreme edge of the road to the front line of the building. Here you can see this one is the extreme edge of the road from which I am keeping the open space to the building. You can see here, and this distance is called setback. This includes the space of excavation for the foundation and the projection of sun shades or balconies of the superstructure. So here the plot area in which at the entrance and the part of building which is fronting to the street, and this space I have to keep it open. So in this, land contained in the setback belongs to owner property, but he is prohibited from putting any structure in the setback portion, and this land can be used by authority in future. So what it tells us, this land belongs to property owner, but in this space the property owner does not have any right to build anything, and in future the authority or urban authority or local municipality has rights to take this land and they can build in this area. So from extreme edge of the road I have to keep the open space to the front line of the building. When the property is located at a corner, then setback rule applies to the abutting street. Here at this front side, if the street is of 12 meter, then setback regarding 12 meter width of street, we have to provide open space. And at the side of the building, if there is a width of road 7.5 meter, then corresponding setback will be kept. So we have to take the reference of fronting street, and based on that we have to keep the setback, and after that we can construct. Though it is a part of property owner, but municipality has rights to take that land for the widening of the road. There are certain setback which depends upon the abutting street, or you can say fronting road width. If the road width is up to 12 meter, or you can say it is less than 12 meter, then setback is 1.5 meter. Again I am repeating, if the fronting street having width less than 12 meter, then the setback is 1.5 meter provided from the edge of the road to the building. Then if the width of the street is greater than 12 meter, the setback is 2 meter. And at last, if the width is less than 3 meter and the length of the street is less than 30 meter, then there is no setback required. This belongs to society roads, and in which there is no setback. Yes, there is margin, but no setback is required. Now, let us understand the benefits or advantages of setback. Setback gives better condition of air, light and ventilation. As in the property area, I am providing a setback. So, in adjacent property, when the properties are just nearer to each other, then these two properties have their own setback, and ultimately there is provision for proper light, air and ventilation. Then availability of land for road widening. As I'm giving a front margin space where I'm not considering or where I'm not constructing anything, and in future that area can be used as a widening of the road, and as I have proper margin from the abutting street, so there will be no damage in the property. Then availability of land for parking of vehicles. See, as there is open space, you can avail that space for the off-street parking. Then it improves the visibility and impart the safety to the traffic. When there is a crossroad and one vehicle is approaching from one end and crossing the crossroad, then he may not have the visibility of the crossroad from his or her left hand side. This would happen when there is no open space or margin and buildings are constructed just at the corner of the road. But I am providing a setback so that whenever the person is approaching towards a crossroad, he can have the proper visibility of his left side and he can see which vehicle is coming, whether he has to stop or he can move towards his own direction. So as we have proper space in between, so there is no obstruction and there is proper visibility, so traffic movement can be done easily. Then protection of building against street nuisance like noise. As the building itself is away from the main road, there is a space of 2 to 3 meter, and that's why the nuisance of ongoing vehicle or noise of that ongoing traffic is comparatively reduced in the building. So ultimately it controls the noise of the street. Then it reduces the danger of fire by increasing the distance between two opposite buildings. It improves the appearance of the road. Here, all those properties are at equal distance apart from the main road. So there is a homogeneous distance and ultimately the entire stretch or entire street looks beautiful. And at last, it provides the privacy of property owner. So these are the advantages or you can say benefits of setback. Now understand the definition of setback line. A line parallel to the plot boundaries and laid down by the authority beyond which nothing can be constructed. Setback line is a line which is parallel to the plot boundaries. Here there is a property line and I am providing a setback here. After this setback, the line which represent a setback line and which is parallel to the property line and beyond which after this line I cannot construct here. You can see I cannot construct in this part. I can construct inside the setback line, but beyond the setback line nothing is permitted. So authority has their own rights and this space is meant for the widening of the road in future. If municipality wishes to construct any road in future, then this space can be utilized by the authority, but we do not have rights to construct in this area. So again, it is the line parallel to the plot boundaries and it laid down by the authority beyond which nothing can be constructed. Inside that we have rights, owner have rights to do the construction, but beyond which at the roadside you cannot have right to do construction work. So this is the setback line. Now understand the definition of building line and control line. Let us first have a building line. The line up to which the plinth of the building adjoining a street or a road or on future street may lawfully extend it. It also refers to the line of building frontage and generally buildings are allowed to construct up to this line. Here the road width is given. Clear? In this road width you cannot construct anything. After that there is a line beyond which the area is of property owner area, or you can say plot area. But beyond this road line, there is one more line that is called building line. And this line is stretching up to the plinth of the building which is just next to the road. Again, after ending of road width, there is one more line which is extended up to the plinth of the building structure, and beyond which owners have do not right to construct anything at here. But this road width can be extended up to this building line, and up to this the road can be lawfully extended. It also refers to the line of a building frontage, and building can be constructed up to this line only. So from this plot, the entire plot, the owner wishes to construct up to this. He cannot go beyond this orange patch and to the green line. So he has to restrict himself up to orange patch. Now, in some of the cases, building line and setback line are same. Understand here, don't get confused. In some of the cases, the open space is that much which also covers the criteria of setback. So, in some of the cases, building line and setback line are same. Setback also gives the permission up to which you cannot construct anything, and building lines gives the same thing, that as it goes up to the plinth of the building. So do not have any doubt in this understanding of building line and setback line, or the concept of setback. Now, control line. In certain category or certain class of building like cinema, commercial center, which require additional space for parking of large number of vehicles. So, such kind of buildings are set back a further distance apart from the building line, and the line up to which such buildings can be constructed is known as control line. Now, one more feature class added. In this, the type of building is changed, and this is the place where public gathering is more. So, whenever there is a public place like cinema or commercial centers, then there has to be provision of parking of vehicles of that particular complex or a public building. And for that reason, I have to keep one more additional space for parking purpose. So now this building line is extended further distance apart, and I am going to provide additional setback. You can see here from green to orange end, I am going to provide additional setback, and that's why this additional setback is provided for the parking of vehicles, because there is number of people and there is a place of gathering, and that's why I am providing a parking space, and that is called control line. In your surroundings, you have seen in commercial complex, whenever you approach towards that complex, there is an open space. After that, there is a space of parking, and once you approach towards a building, there is a lobby and shops will start. So the space between road end to the parking space, that is the control line. So understand, once there is a median, after median there is either side lanes, then either side lanes towards footpath, footpath to building line, then building line. There may be a cases where building line and setback line are same, and at certain class of building this distance is furthermore apart, and I have to give provision for the parking of vehicle, and that is called control line. Here understand this. See, there is right of way, ROW is given. After that ROW, Assume that there is a footpath. After footpath, there is a line of property which is just abutting to the street. Then I am providing a setback. Here, the setback and building line is same, and then the building will start. If there is a particular class of building, for example, commercial building, I have to give one more setback and then the building plane start. So this is the phenomenon building line and control line. Next, consolidated open plot. In the particular development site or in a particular plot, certain percentage of land area is kept open space, and this is known as consolidated open plot, or you can say COP. Here the criteria is COP is 30% of total land area. If the plot area is 1500 meters square, then I have to keep 30% of that plot area open space. Means 30% of 1500 meter square area, which gives me 450 meter square area, and that space I have to keep open, and I can construct in the rest of that 70% of land. Then next is at COP there are some exemptions are given. These exemptions are when I provide a projections like weather shade, which is up to 0.6 meter width, and the gallery of 1.2 meter width, and steps are permitted. Then the margin and approaches to the building inclusive in this COP. If the COP exceeds 500 meter square area, then the COP may be permitted to be subdivided into two units, in which one unit being of minimum size 15 meter by 15 meter. Now understand this. If I have a plot, in this plot I am going to provide 30% of total plot as a COP. If this COP area is more than 500 meter square, then I have to divide this plot into two parts, in which at least one plot is minimum of 15 meter by 15 meter. For example, if I have a plot of 1800 meter square, if I calculate the COP area, it is 540 meter square area, which almost exceeds the criteria of 500 meter square. Then I have to divide this plot into two units, that open space. Understand, here I have to divide this open space into two units, and in these two units at least one unit has a dimension of 15 meter by 15 meter minimum. So this is the consolidated open plot. This is generally applicable to industrial area or at certain type of development land. These bylaws are applied. Next, light plane. In city area or in Gamtal area, you have observed that there is a construction which is covered full area without any provision of margin or any open space. In such cases, it is necessary to check that the height of the building does not obstruct the ventilation of the property on the other side of the road. Again, I am repeating, there are particular type of area, whether this area is in city area or it is an Gamtal area. In urban area, if you have look it into your surroundings, there are certain villages in the urban area as well. In Ahmedabad, in Rajkot, in Surat, Vadodara, you will find that, which was the past development. For example, if I am talking about Ahmedabad, walled city is earlier development. So certain type of land is there before the municipality, the development has done. This can be a Gamtal area as well, the extended portion of village that is called Gamtal area. So in that the buildings are made in a such a way that there is no open space or margin, and they do not bother about the future expansion of the road, nothing. So what do we do to this kind of buildings and such units? See, you cannot demolish such things because the things were developed before the bylaws has come up or implied to such type of buildings and at such type of places as well. So in such cases, what we need to do, we have to check the height of the building which does not obstruct the ventilation of opposite building or opposite building bottom, and that's why we have to provide a light plane rule. Here you can see there is a road width, and at the next there is another property. Here I have not shown you, but here assume that there is another property. So the light should passes at the bottom of the opposite property, and you have to construct a building in such a way that then it makes an angle so that all those sun rays passes at the bottom of the opposite properties. For this purpose, a light plane is marked at a suitable angle from the edge of the road on the other, and the height of the building is suitably curtailed off to allow the light plane to pass as I have shown you in the figure. And that's why we have to provide a light plane rule. Generally, the angle of 45 degree to 63.5 degree light plane rule is applied in such cases. So what is the statement of this light plane rule? The rule states that no part of the building should cut the light plane drawn from the boundary of the plot at an angle either 45 degree or 63.5 degree to the horizontal. Here there are two opposite properties, in between there is a road. What it tells us, that the rays of the adjacent properties touches to either end of the road. You can see here the rays are going through and meeting at the bottom. At the same time, here you can see these are meeting at the another property, and so opposite ventilation, or you can say opposite lightning, are provided so that they have benefit of such natural phenomena. So how would this imply? The ratio of height of the building to the width of road will be 1:1 in case of 45 degree right plane rule, and 2:1 in case of 63.5 degree light plane rule. Understand here, if the road width is x, then I can make the building height up to x at both the end, and that ratio is 1:1. Again, if the road width is 3 meter, then I can construct the building height up to 3 meter at either side. If the road width is 7 meter, I can construct up to 7 meter. Now, in case of 63.5 degree light plane rule, the road width is same, but building height is doubled. And in most of the cases, 63.5 degree rule is adopted. You can see here, the space is given in such a way that there is a building height which is almost double to the road width. But if I want to construct one more floor than the permissible height, then I have to give the setback at second story. You can see I can give the setback at given story, and this will be further distance apart. Earlier what we are doing? We are doing setback at the bottom of the road, but in certain class of building or certain class of or category of places where there is no possibility of widening of road, then if I want to construct more, then I have to give at upper story setback. Even you have seen in villages and in certain pole or in series that the buildings are constructed up to 3 story and the other 4th story will be further distance apart, or you can say that space is particularly a terrace, and that is what the terrace house concept is there. In urban trend, it is now penthouse concept, that the building is separately, there is particular gap in between. But this is just for your understanding. Don't compare this concept to that penthouse concept. It is something else. But I'm talking about the terrace space. That space is given, that is nothing but to avail the light to the opposite property, so that they have the benefit of natural phenomena. So I am ending this light plane theory. Next is loft. It is an intermediate floor between two floors with a maximum height of 1.5 meter. It is constructed for the storage purpose. Loft is provided in a one floor, but it is provided in between two floors, and it is used for just a storage purpose. In our Gujarati language, it is known as a madyu, which is known as a madyu, and it is generally used as a storage purpose. Next is porch or portico. It means a roof cover supported on pillars or a cantilever projection for the purpose of pedestrian or vehicular approach. These things are provided in hospital building or in hotels, where an extended portion is provided, whether it can be a column supported or it can be a cantilever support, to receive the guest in the hotel or to receive a vehicle in hospital or a pedestrian as well. So it is provided at the entrance of a building, and it is a roof cover which either be a column supported or it can be a cantilever structure. Next is mezzanine floor. It is an intermediate floor between two floors overhanging a floor beneath. The minimum height of a mezzanine floor shall be 2.2 meter. The minimum size of mezzanine floor, if it is to be used as a living room, which shall not less than 9.5 square meter. The aggregate area of such mezzanine floor in the building shall in no case exceed 1/3 the plinth area of the building. So the mezzanine floor is used in a residential building for sleeping purpose, or in industrial building it is used for monitoring or provide such accommodation for labor or for constructing offices. So it is an intermediate floor between two floors in which overhanging is provided at floor beneath. But here what you have to remember, certain bylaws which are applicable to mezzanine floor and its definition. I am ending this session here. I hope you have learned certain terminologies which are helpful for the understanding of building bylaws. Thanks for watching this video.